Hey everybody, this is Scoots, and as much of a daytime voice as I can come to you. But before I go any further, I want to make sure, one, you're only listening and hearing me, because this message isn't for everybody, but it might be for you, and you get a big chance to vote on the future of the podcast. But this message isn't for everyone, especially if you don't want to listen to me or you don't want to hear me. But if you're new to the podcast, you definitely do not need to listen to this. It's not going to be sleepy. If you only have listened to the podcast a few times in your life, just skip this episode. Or if you're listening because you're just going through a tough patch, you got something big you're in the middle of, you're getting over, you're anticipating, or you only stop into the show from time to time, this message is not for you. You don't need to listen to it. You don't need to hear me. But if you're still here, I really hope you listen and hear what I'm saying, because I want you to vote on the future of the podcast. Now, the main way to support the show, obviously, is to go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus right now and support the show directly. Because I want you to think about it. If I asked you to vote on the podcast, on the future of the podcast, I put it to you like this. If you could vote, Scoots, keep making Sleep With Me, or Scoots, nah, you don't need to keep making the show. Like, what's your first reaction? Should I keep the show going or not? All right, think about that. And I want to ask you these super listener questions. Do you listen to Sleep With Me most nights? Do you listen all night long? Do you listen to the show on a loop? Do you have a playlist of favorites or one specific episode you listen to over and over again? Have you been listening more than 6 months? Have you been listening more than 3 years? Has Sleep With Me helped you smile during tough nights, made you feel better in the deep, dark night? Has Sleep With Me changed your relationship with bedtime and sleep in the deep, dark nights? Well, if you said yes to any of those questions, I want you to vote on whether I should keep making the show or not. And here's the good news. There's 3 different ways to vote yes, and there's one really easy way to vote no. And the way to vote no is just to do nothing, right? To say, so if you want to vote yes, I'll tell you how. The yes is saying, yeah, man, I'm a super listener. What do you need me to do? I'll do it right now. You said I got 3 choices, right? I want to be a part of this thing. I'm hearing you, Scoots. I'm listening, and I'm ready to vote yes right now. Or are you like, nah, sounds like a little bit much for me, Scoots. I could go without the show. It's not that big a deal to me. Doesn't matter to me. Or I don't know if I care about Sleep With Me that much. Yeah, I'm a super listener, but I don't know. So the vote no is if you just listen to this message, you hear this message, and you do nothing, right? And let me tell you that this isn't a general message. This is a direct message to you, because you're the one I need to vote, right, on the future of the show. You're the person whose help I need. So you count on the podcast to be there for you night after night after night. You're saying yes, or maybe you're not 100% sure you don't care at all, right? You're like, well, I don't think I'm going to do anything. I think my vote is no. I don't think I'm going to do anything, but I'll hear you out. And like I said, Jordan had put it in the other message. I used to think someone else would support the show, and then I realized maybe I'm that someone. And so that's who I'm talking to. You, if you want to vote to keep the show going, like this podcast has changed your life, it helps you get the rest you need, it gives you peace and relief in the deep, dark night, or just provides a friendly distraction when you can't sleep, could you vote yes right now to keep the show going? And not later, because later is no. Like, no, Scoots, don't bother. If you put it off, it kind of is a vote to stop making the show. And like I said, there's 3 options. So maybe you have objections to supporting a podcast directly. Maybe you're not in a position to support the show. Don't worry. There'll be options for you to still vote yes. Even if you have no intention to ever support the show, you can still vote yes. So the only people that are voting no, voting to stop the show, are the people like, nope, I'm not going to, I don't know, man. I'm not going to do anything. Now, the main way to support the show, obviously, is to go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus right now and support the show directly. But like I said, there's a couple other ways, because when you support the show, not only do you get access to a platform built on how super listeners listen to the show that we've developed over the past 8 or 9 years, but you're joining a group of a very, very small, very, very exclusive group of people who are voting yes to keep the show going, not just for you, but for everybody else. Most people don't sign up for Sleep With Me Plus just for the bonus content. They sign up because they know a lot of work goes into the show, and keeping the show free is important to me and to everybody else listening. The people that support the show don't want it to just be a paid service, because they want that show out there for those occasional listeners. Like I said, somebody going through a breakup, somebody studying for their finals, somebody starting their new job, a nurse on the night shift, a parent with a newborn, or someone going through periods of grief like I did last year. Those are the people that Sleep With Me Plus benefits that get to listen to the free show. They're only occasional listeners. They're people that are going through a tough time. And like I said, you get a podcast full of ad-free episodes. You get a podcast full of story-only episodes. Those also have no ads. You get a podcast full of bonus shows. In the top 2 tiers, get all intro episodes, all night episodes. But more important than that, you could feel good about it. You could feel good about making the most powerful vote yes to keep the show going, because you're really rare, right? You're doing something special, and supporting a podcast really is courageous and brave, because most people don't do it. And most people have either stopped listening to me now, or they stopped hearing me. They're tuning me out. They're like, yeah, that's okay. I'm just here for the sleep podcast. I'm not here to help the sleep podcast. You're asking a lot, Scoots. And I do realize that because it takes a lot to make the show. And I realize how hard it is. The hardest part is taking that action right now to vote yes. Because I've been in that place. I'll do it tomorrow. It kind of matters to me. But, somebody else will do it, or I'll do it next month, or I'll remember tomorrow. So this is where I got to figure out, the biggest yes is to support the show directly on Sleep With Me Plus, sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. Some people think that their $7 a month or their $60 a year does not matter. Your $7 a month or $60 a year will make the difference for the Sleep With Me going on for the next year, the next 3 years, the next 6 years. And you could stop supporting the show as soon as you stop listening. So what's stopping you? And don't worry, I'm going to give you those other ways to vote yes, that I'll count equally as far as pushing forward with this. But what's stopping you right now from supporting the show at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus? If you can't afford that, that's a legit reason not to support the show at Sleep With Me Plus. If you object to support the idea of supporting a podcast financially or directly, that's fine too. That you may have a legitimate reason you don't want to support this podcast. Stay tuned, because we have a way for you to vote yes too. So I don't know what the message is in your head. And this is what I got to figure out. We have 20,000 super listeners. We only need the support of 1,300 1,275 more super listeners on Sleep With Me Plus. But it really comes down to you. Are you the one? The last time I asked, we accumulated about 200 and then about 50 other people. I'd rather not have to do whatever 5 or 6 more of these interruptions of the podcast, but I'm willing to do that if we stand a chance. So I need to know from the people that are blocked. Are you blocked from doing the show, or does it just not matter, right? Because if it's most 19,000 super listeners or 19,500 super listeners are just nah, I'm not going to vote at all. That probably means I should stop and try. I should stop making the show, right? But if there's only 18,000 or 17,000 super listeners that are then maybe I should keep pushing through. Maybe it is. I just don't know if it's a matter getting through and trying to get people here and listen to me, or just to say the right combination of things, or if this is a Quixotean task that getting us back to where we were in 2019, 2020, 2021, the same level of listener support, because we still have the same number of super listeners. If we can't get back there, right, it'd be a lot easier for me to come up with different plans. So that's why I need you to vote, no matter if you're going to support the show or not, or to not do anything. And that'll make it very clear to me that we're just not going to get there. But again, like when I say these messages, I think it is just a matter of breaking through the noise and getting your attention. Like, you are listening to me right now. You're the one person I need. You might be like, yeah, I could support the show. Are you kidding me? Sleep With Me is worth way more than those other streaming services. Or you might be like, it Scoots $7 a month really is a stretch for me. But I want to help, but don't worry. Or you might be like, the idea of supporting your podcast is ridiculous to me. I don't believe it takes a lot of work. I don't believe there's people at work. Whatever it is, or whatever, some version of that, don't worry. You can still have a vote for me to keep making the show if you're a super listener. Because the reality is, starting in July, you'd have to go on a diet of 1.5 episodes of Sleep With Me a month. That's all the sponsors are going to cover. And it goes down from there, the projections we have. So if you can get by on 1.5 episodes of Sleep With Me a month, and I mean, period, that would be 1.5 episodes in the feed, don't do anything. Vote no by not doing anything. But if you want access to more than 1.5 episodes a month, you want me to keep putting out new episodes, keep putting out extra repeats, keep all those 600 episodes in the archives, there's 20,000 of you listening, and you're one of them because you're still here, that listen all night long, that fall asleep fast, that have listened for months and months or years and years, that listen to episode after episode after episode, listen night after night after night after night. And we just need 1,500 people to support the show directly, or less than that. But I want to know, if there's 1,500 people out there that care, even if you don't want to support the show or can't support the show, because I think it will take, I just have learned over the years, it's no matter how powerful the message is, a lot of people are not going to hear it, and they're not listening to me, or they tuned me out 5 or 6 minutes ago. But if I keep asking and asking and asking, some of those people will eventually support the show. So while it may be tough times for the podcast between July and December, if people vote that can't afford to support the show or don't want to support the show, I'll know I'm on the right track, and I'll just keep pushing through. But it'd be great if you could go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus to support the show. It'll take you 2 minutes. You could get all the bonus content set up tomorrow when you're more rested. And I hope it'd be great. Last time we got 200 people, it'd be great if we could get 400, or you're one of 19,000 plus people, 19,999 or more super listeners. But if you take the action, we'll be that much closer. And you can do that at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. Now, if you cannot afford to support the show, but you want me to keep going, right? You see, Scoots, this podcast is a valuable, valuable part of my life. But that is $7, that's $60 a year is a stretch for me. Like I say in all the other messages, believe me, I've been there. I was making this podcast living paycheck to paycheck. So I know exactly the place you're in. I didn't even have a car, right? I had to take a bus to take my daughter home from dance class. So if you're in that place and you want to support the show, I do ask you sign up for a referral program. And try to get one referral. It's really easy to do. You get a link. You just share it on a regular basis. And you could do that at sleepwithmepodcast.com/refer, REFER. And then you'll be in the loop. So if we don't get there, I think we will. But if we don't, you'll already be in the loop. And you won't get, if we do have to make drastic changes, you'll be in the circle, because you'll get access to Sleep With Me Plus. So you won't have to worry about the show going away or not. And you'll have made your vote. You'll vote with your action, sharing the free podcast and just letting people know about it, helping them fall asleep. You'll be saying yes. You'll be voting yes with your actions. So that's all I ask you to do. Sign up for the referral program. Get one referral. We're going to start doing fun referral stuff once a month to to keep people motivated. And the third group, right? If whatever, for whatever reason, whether it's philosophical or whatever it is, you have for you a legitimate reason you don't want to support the show directly, and you don't want to take any action and support the show by referring people to it. You can fill out the form at sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thank you, and that will still be a vote for me to keep making the show because you're invested in the podcast. Even if you don't want to support it, you've got a good reason, and you're a super listener. I just need you to vote on that page and kind of agree to disagree, right? Don't try to change my mind. I mean, you can vent on that page, actually. But I'm not going to try to change your mind. If you do not want to support the show, you do not want to refer people to the show, I don't think I can change your mind. I think that's what I've learned over the past 5 or 6 years, and that's okay. But I still want you to put a vote in for me to keep the show going. And that's what's amazing. Your vote really means a lot to me versus people that are like, nah, it's not that big a deal. If you're like, Scoots, I'm absolutely never going to support you, that's a powerful vote for me, yes, to keep making the show. If you're a super listener, that's how super listeners act, right? You say, what do you need me to do? Well, best thing to do would be support the show directly. Second best thing would be to sign up for a referral program. And the third best thing would be to let me know you're not going to support the show. Because the thing is, like, if I hear from 4,000 people, right, through sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thank you, it will change. It would be powerful because I'd be like, oh boy, what am I going to do now? Versus and that's what I mean. Like, if you don't do anything, that's a vote no, because I have no information and no way to move forward or to the side or to say, well, maybe we could change this up. Like, if I heard from 4,000 people that were like, we're not going to support the show, it would be powerful information for me to be like, okay, well, we're definitely going to have to do something different here, but what can we do? So again, if you want to vote yes to support the show, you say, yeah, I am a super listener. Yes, Sleep With Me has changed my life. Yes, I plan on listening to Sleep With Me for the next month. Yes, I plan on listening to Sleep With Me for the next few months. Yes, I'd prefer to be able to listen to more than 1.5 episodes of Sleep With Me a month. Because there's no way that would ever work, right, Scoots? You could vote. sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus, sleepwithmepodcast.com/refer, REFER, or sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thank you. And if you say, yeah, it's not, you know what, I agree. It's not, Sleep With Me is not that big a deal for me. Don't worry. You don't, that way you don't have to do anything. If you're like, Scoots, it is too, I don't think you're going to get there. I don't know if you're like, it does sound ridiculous, me saying it out loud. That's the thing. If you're going to vote no by doing nothing, that's what most people are going to do. But I think if you're listening to me at this point, you're not most people. Like, you care about this podcast. And that's why, I mean, the thing is, like, when I look at that sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thank you thing, it's going to get me down. But I know this podcast matters to some of you, right? And I don't like putting myself out here like this or being direct like this because it comes with the cost of people letting me know how strongly they don't like it. But it's worth it, man. Like, it's worth it for that person going through the breakup that I can be there for them. The person that can't sleep at all. The new mom, the new nurse who's getting, working some different shift, whoever it is, the new listeners. I love making this show, and it is important to me. Putting you to sleep is important to me, but I've never been able to do this alone. It's always taken help from people that work on the show, and it's always taken mostly listener support. However hard it'll be for me to make the show till the end of the year, like whatever changes we have to make, like if people care, even if you can't support the show or don't want to support the show, I'd love it if you could support the show one of those ways. I'd love it if you vote yes, and I would love it if we got if you're one of those people, it's like, yeah, man, I already voted, Scoots. I'm still listening to you while I did it already. This podcast is a part of my life, and I want to be a part of the life of the podcast. So thank you. I'm looking forward to us continuing the show for a long time together and having you, like when you vote yes, having you feel good about it and feel empowered because you're empowering this podcast. It makes your life better. And then I love being a part of it. It makes my life better being able to be a service here and all the wonderful people that work on the show. So thanks.